Alright, so this tutorial is going to be how I shoot and edit a cinematic real estate video. And then stay tuned to the end, I'm going to show you the full complete video. For this shoot, I was on the Panasonic GH5 Mark II with the Laowa 7.5mm f2, and I think I was around f2.8. I think I only had to go down to f2 for a few of the shots, but I'm going to show you some things that I wish I would have done differently. In this one, this is going to be a good teaching video because this isn't like my best work, but it got the job done. Again, it had to be done that morning. Otherwise, I probably would have scheduled this at a different time of day, and you'll see why. And a few other things within the whole shoot that I wish I would have changed, and I left this on auto ISO and auto white balance. Normally I don't do that, but if I have the lights off in the house, then I'll do auto white balance. Usually the camera does a pretty good job of that. And auto ISO, that way if I'm moving from scene to scene and they're a little bit darker, then it will adjust for that. So, with that being said, let's get into Final Cut Pro right now, and I'll show you how I edited this. Alright, so here it is. This is an opening shot. I'm going to actually play this whole clip for you, and then I'm going to talk about why I'm not really crazy about this one. So here it is. House is sitting right on the lake. It's right there. Alright, let's go back to that. I'm not crazy about it because look at how dark. Look at that's the auto ISO taking place with the drone, but there's nothing I could have done about it because the sun was right overhead right here, and so the drone was compensating for that. But if I up the exposure right now, by the time we get to here, it would have been blown out. So what I should have done probably is stayed lower to the ground, so keeping the sky maybe out of it. Because this is what I talk about a lot of times in these videos. You need to have an opener. You need to have an establishing shot. That should be your main shot is, okay, what's the surroundings? Where is this house located in relation to anything else? Now, this house is right on the water, so that's the first thing we want to show is, look, we are coming over the water. We are tipping down. We want to show it. And again, we had these trees right here in the front, so I couldn't get too low. But looking back, I wish I would have stayed a lot lower and just flown right over the water, right up to the house. So, if you're ever in this situation where, you're having change in contrast and all that kind of stuff, just get lower and shoot right into the house. So, then I wanted to show from the reverse. What does it look like to look out from the house to the lake? And that's where this shot comes in. And this is just me walking with the gimbal, and it's a little wobbly right there, but that was because there was like gusting winds. And again, I tried stabilizing it and I couldn't. I'm not too happy with that, and I wish I would have did a few more takes, waited for the wind to die down a little bit possibly, but it's not horrible. And then now I'm showing the front of the house. Here's an entryway, and then we're gonna do a zoom transition right into it. And every single shot that I do, I'm just walking as slow as I can and trying to keep that camera as smooth as possible, doing my movements. I'm not doing any in-camera, like I'm not ramping it up, on site. I'm doing all that in post. So watch this shot as I come around and I just speed ramp that, cutting it. So now I'm just showing a different angle of the living room here. Let me just show you something real quick. For that speed ramp, let's see if I can do that. Okay, let me make this longer. So I'm going to try to edit this. I'll edit a speed ramp for you right now, and I'll show you how I do it. We're going to reset speed. Okay, so, and you're going to see this is I shot this in 30 frames a second, so I had to make sure, okay, I'm putting it in a 24p timeline. That means I can slow it down to 80% of its original if I have to. That's it. Like if I'm shooting 60 frames a second, you can slow it down to like 40% of the original, I believe. I think I'm close to that. Because, 50 frames a second at 24 would be about half. So, I think I'm right. But anyways, this is the speed that I was walking. This is full speed right here. And again, it's not super duper smooth. And yes, now remember, I'm on Micro Four Thirds, so me shooting at 60 frames a second and having my shutter at 120th to be able to slow it down, it's not feasible I mean, I'd probably have to be at like 1600 ISO with that case. So I just make sure I practice walking really smooth. That way I can keep my shutter down to like 1/60th, 1/50th even. So what I'm going to do is I want to determine when I want to speed that up, maybe like right here. So I'm going to hold down Shift and hit B with this frame selected, and then I'm just going to drag it to where I want to stop that speed ramp, and I'll almost just kind of do like one of these deals to just play it through. So probably right about there looks good. I'm going to Shift B again, and now I'm going to take this little down arrow right here and click that and go to fast, and then let's try it 20 times. That might be too much, but I always play it back and see how that looks. Yeah, that's a little bit too much. So I'll just take this and pull this and make it longer, just a little bit longer. And then, there, I like that. And then cut. See, wherever the beat hits, you want to have a cut. You never want to cut off of a beat, and I could even maybe make this cut differently. And then we're showing the kitchen. And again, this is full speed. I don't even think I slowed that down. Yes, I did, by 10%. So, and again, all I'm doing is rotating that, just a little speed ramp, showing this side of the room now. Now in the bedroom, and I just walked around the room, another speed ramp if we show that. So that was at 2000. I cut it right here, walked around the room, and again, here's another issue. I should have turned the lights on in the bathroom, but then you run into inconsistencies with white balance, and I'll show you that issue. So how do you deal with that? You'd almost have to, I should have gone maybe set my white balance maybe at like 4200, and you might be able to play with the white balance in the room if it was a little bit off, and then it maybe would have matched in the bathroom. But having auto ISO on there too, see how it's dark in there, but then when we get towards it, it lightens it up a little bit. And now this was a cool shot. I wanted to show this stairwell in relation to this bedroom. So again, I don't even think oh yes, I did do a speed ramp on this one too. Oops. Yeah, I slowed it down to 80%, that's the most I can, and then I did a little speed ramp to bring it down. Right here, just so it's not so boring, you know. That's all speed ramps do, it livens it up. Going into bedrooms, I just do a slow push in like that, that's it. I literally don't even think I sped that up. That was like full speed right there. You don't need to go any slower than that. Now, here is the auto white balance issue that I had, so take note of this. It took a while for the camera to adjust the white balance. See how, as I'm backing out, see how it's fixing it right there. It starts correcting it compared to here. So what I could do to fix that is maybe cut this clip and come up to, you know, sometimes balance color fixes it, but then we have to maybe adjust everything else. So I like to have the scopes on here, and it just looks a little too muddy for my taste because it's going to be a drastic change. Yeah, so let's do this. Let's pull the yellows out of there a little bit, and let's see if we can do the highlights. So making it more yellow would go this way. If we pull out the yellows, we could just pull it out this way, maybe in the mid-tones also. And we'll see if that is any... That actually doesn't look too bad. Let's see. See if it's noticeable. Not as bad as it was. So that's, again, that's all I did was push in and then move out and over and rotate as I'm coming into the room. So that's not so boring. We just do a speed ramp into this room. Now, to show different levels of the house, again, another establisher shot would be to show the staircase. I used to walk down the stairs or walk up the stairs, and that's like, first of all, you have to speed ramp that, otherwise it takes too long, and usually it looks like you're bouncing up and down, and it just looks horrible. So now what I do is I just roll, looking like I'm going down the stairs, and then I'll cut to something downstairs. So let me just play this through for you, right here. And then I cut to another speed ramp, and then we speed ramp it into here. And then we cut, showing this room. Again, just a slow pull, and then you always want to have an ending shot, another establisher showing the house in relation to where it's at, what its surroundings are, and leave room too for some realtors want you to put all their information at the end of it. Now, where I'm from, the MLS needs a branded and an unbranded version, so I give them 2 copies, one without any of their information on it, just the address at the beginning, and then one with all their information for the branded version. So, and that's all that is. I just took the drone and rolled it backwards as I slowly tip that camera up, and it fades out with all their information. Stay tuned. Now I'm going to play this entire video for you, the one I delivered. But again, leave me any comments or questions or any advice or tips for us all. We love to all read the comments, I know that. So again, thanks for watching. Here's the video.